Hello, I'm Boris. Today we're going to be looking at the West Hampstead police station and what the features are within the interior and the exterior. With me I've got the sergeant of A shift who will be walking us through, and if they have any questions they'll pose it to me. So let's go. So here we have the front of house area. On the front of the window we can see certain policies such as no smoking when the station opens and other interesting facts about the station. Within here we have seating area for members of the public to come sit down. We have the branding for the community and who participated within the development of it. Out here, civs can have their queries or concerns answered to. This is where the front of house staff, the police staff, etc. will sit and will answer their queries. Through this door, which is access only for police officers or police staff, we have two interview rooms. One of them's in use at the moment, Interview Room 1 and Interview Room 2, which isn't in use. The two share the same similarities, where they have a desk, a table, chairs, and a recording setup. This is where solicitors and police officers will interview people about certain instances. On the right hand side here, you can see there's a push to release button. These little features and props, etc., be made custom for this interior. Here we have the front of house room, where we have two boards with information on stations and other information which may be useful for front of house staff. And then tables and chairs, albeit quite old, are present. Out of this room, and if we continue down the hallway, we can see a storage room where it's a storage room, so there's not much in here. It's just for aesthetics with the windows blinds down. Coming out of the room, you can see we have an option for the locker room. This is where essentially everyone within the station will come in and get changed. There are some information tips and policy on the walls. This can include remember to bring your key, keep your keys in the station, don't take them home. Another one which is if you've left your taser, if you've fired your taser on a job, what the policy is. And if you come over here, you can see another bit of posters which will give you some information on certain Met policies. Come out through the other exit. We have the press room on our left. Where a custom lectern has been made, which holds the Met Police insignia. So any official press releases will be done within this room. If we continue down the hallway, looking right is where that storage cupboard is, and the left-hand side of that is custody. But if we continue on with this section of the floor, we've got the body-worn video room, where all the body-worn videos for the teams and different departments are held. This back room here is mainly just an overflow room, anything for diagnostics. There's nothing interesting back here. So if we vacate this room and go right, the last room within this section of the floor is the taser room. Every police station has a taser room, and they are meant to be secure. So this is secure behind a number lock, which we can open, which shows off the taser within it. Let the sergeant have a look at that. Within it, you can gather taser cartridges, tasers, and the top boxes for defective tasers. To wrap up this floor, we're going to go over to custody now. And custody is held for between a solid, I think, 6-inch door, metal. At the top here, as you can see, you've got a fray alarm for custody. These are placed around the interior. So one's down here next to the locker room, and then one will be up in the response room. Here's an airlock style system where the two doors should be locked. And to our right, we have fray alarms placed all the way throughout the custody block. On our right, we have another storage cupboard, which only holds, in reality, things potentially evidential. So there's an evidential fridge back there for specimens or bloods. This is the FME room, where prisoners or whomever can come here and see the nurse. On our right of that room is the Intercom room. A very small room, so I'll let the sergeant go in. It allows people to provide positive samples or negative samples, or evidential samples, I should say, of intoxicants. If we go through the alternative way, I can show you the way that prisoners would normally come in. It might be the better solution, to be fair. So this is the exit, this is the in and out exit. So you should come out this way and you should go in that way if you haven't got a prisoner. Whereas the van dock, which is what I'll show you here, has that capability where two vans can park in here within the white lines. The blue lines is, where they can walk around. The shutters eventually will work and it will shut down, it will come down in a shutter formation. There are lights outside, green and red, which once again will work eventually, where they will show red to not cross and green to go in. Moving up to this, we do have an intercom, which you would buzz the sergeant with inside, and once again it just reinforces that this is the entry only. Within this area, this is an airlock system. Prisoners can be scanned by something called smart water. So if they've got the smart water liquid all over them, it shows on them, then they'll be like, okay, why have you got this on you? There's a bench for the prisoners to sit down on, and up there is quite notable. This is their time of arrival at custody. So it's quite noteworthy that they should note down this time. In theory, it should be the time they walk through the gates, but this is the last call, effectively. Moving through the airlock, once the sergeant's allowed that door to be opened, the prisoner can be placed in two holding cells, whichever's free. And I can show that with you now. I can go into the cell and sit down. And then I can exit the cell. The right-hand cell is ideal for prisoners who want to make phone calls, but that's ultimately up to the sergeant when that's applicable. The prisoner will stand on the yellow footprints, and the sergeant will be on the other side. Look at the monitor, you can see that's the booking in procedure, and what the prisoner will see, the name, etc. being filled out there. Around here, you can see benches. The benches are intended for officers or solicitors to sit down during their time waiting for the prisoner to be ready for interview. Back here is the custody desk, which contains evidence bags, tower computers, etc. And once again, the next feature is the fray alarm, which is there. These are lock boxes for the sergeant, but property in. Back here is where the custody detention officers or the sergeant can sit back here and do their work if needs be in private. Exiting, we can look at the cells. So I'm going to show you the fray alarm going off now. The sergeant's going to watch the lights, and we'll see what they do. So I go over to the strip now, which you can't see. There you go. It's activated the fray alarm. So those lights will alternate from red to amber. Here, as I mentioned, we do have wing D and wing C, two wings, and then another door, staff only, which can be accessible from that warrant card scan over there. Within here we got the kitchen. And then exiting, we have a lift. So within a station there are two methods of getting round. Once you scan your warrant card on, you can get inside the lift and you'll be able to go up to the next floor. Pushing the pressed exit, green button, we can get out. And we can look at the wings now. So within this station there are 17 cells, 2 of those are dry cells and 2 of those are juvenile cells. Within this cell, we can hold down E on the door and close the door, and we can also close the hatch. If I open it up though, we can look. We have an intercom. We have a water where people can wash their hands. We have a toilet with an ability to flush it, and then we have the prisoner's bed, which will obviously be ready for the prisoner when they go inside. Each cell effectively looks the same. There's extra mats on the outside of each cell if needs be, and each cell can be written down with what the prisoner is. So certain cells will say they're violent, certain cells will say that they spit, and such as this one, not nice. So we can look at the property cells, which once again they all look the same. This one being the under 18 cell, it's a bit bigger for them, and the bed's a bit bigger for them as well. This is not the dry cell. This is the dry cell. So each wing has a dry cell, and within this dry cell, there's no toilets. Over here, we can see there's shower facilities, prisoners to wash themselves. And then moving out, once again, there's shower facilities on that side, with another dry cell to our left, and then the rest are all normal cells. Okay, so now we're going to go over to the first floor now. This is the ground floor. And here we are, we're at a staircase. So this is the section where we concluded before we went to custody. This is the stairs to get up to the next floors. On my left here, you can see each floor and what is within them. I'll show you them in person. So up the staircase, we have floor 1. Floor 1 is essentially the ERPT floor, the cafe, and community safety. So if we go here, I'll show you the toilets before anything else. And yes, these are them. If you can go inside, it's just a toilet, and then outside is the shed facilities to wash your hands and to put stuff in the bin. There are some warnings to turn your body worn off, because if someone activates their taser whilst you're inside the toilet, that'll be on evidence.com, so good. Moving out, you can see the cafe is over here. And within the cafe, we have facilities over here to our right to warm up your Rustler's burgers, your plates. Then you've got seating facilities, and we've got a cafe. So when it is staffed by the canteen staff, what's applicable usually is chips, deep pan pizza, and wherever the stuff is in the middle. Over here we got the condiment facilities for sauces. We got whichever station needs vendor machines. Then outside within here we have the cafe. Not the cafe, the kitchen. There were 2 fridges, a large kitchen set, and then a freezer, which some people get cold, so let's not open that. The ERPT room, the emergency response basin team. This is packed out with a lot of detail. For starters, Rob's leaving, so if we can attend his drinking do, that would be ideal. Got a wall planner for shifts. You know what shift is going to be on after you. Behind this, behind the privacy fencing, I guess, we do have the desktops available for the officers. And then further down, we do have other details such as the radios available, and I think body warmers are over there as well. Unfortunately, this person lost their mind from the looks of it, so we'll have to get that repaired. We just go to the other end as well, Sarge. As you can see, as I mentioned, there's a radio over there, audio and video, Evans bags. Back here is the same as well. This person, whoever sits here, gets a nice chair. The next room we're going to look at is the community safety room. Once again, this is quite a standard room. There's not much going to be to this one. It's effectively just tables and chairs. Moving out, we do have another section which is walled off. Here's the lift that's available, which will go down to custody, or will go to the floor above, being floor 2. We have the patrol sergeant's room, which, once again, most of these rooms are effectively the same. There's not much detail for some of them, whereas for the ones which are quite unique, like the briefing room, for example, will house more detail within them. So this one looks quite blank, looks quite plain, but there is an ability to set the room up to a certain standard. So for example, I can set the room to be normal, and it will change everything around. It will put some chairs out for the senior officers, but everything else will be stacked away, waiting to be used. I'll change the room to something known as formal, where the blinds are drawn down, the seats are out, and the tables are out as well. And then the last one available, which will be the informal room. All the chairs are out, tables are packed away, and that's that. That's the preset. But all of these can be turned on and off from the person setting them to whatever they want. So the blinds can be open, for example. I toggle that. There you go. Blinds are open. Each room, as I said, could be different. Lights on. Turn off all the lights. The lights would be on basically if it was dark. The lectern down from downstairs is here as well for briefings. And then here we have the board which says no signal. If I just get you an image, basically the idea behind this is we can make briefings a little bit more interactive. So we can put slides as an image and then put them in game so people can visualize what's going on. So an example of this can be this. As you can see, it fits 1080p by 1920 by 1080. It fits the screen, and whatever the content would be. For example, here's the location of where we're going to be executing our warrant. Everyone can see, okay, that's where it is. I've noted that down. So that's the interactive whiteboard. And on the way out, they can pick up their batteries if they need them. Okay, so that's that floor conducted and over with. If we just move on now to floor 2. Floor 2 will be the CCC room. And floor 2. So as I said, downstairs, this is the CCC room. Just want to make a note, every floor has this. So they do have the toilet facilities. They're all copy and paste. So if you need to go to the toilet, they're always available. Over here, you can see a massive screen which tells you all the 909 calls that are in the queue, and all the 101 calls within the queue, and each borough needs to be allocated, and then it tells you what's been allocated within a certain time frame. Back here, as you can see, we do have a big TV screen with cameras and what's going on in certain places. And each desk has custom descriptions of what they are. So this is a supervisor, sorry. This one will be a dispatcher. This one will be a dispatcher, and then this will be a support operator for the pod. So each dispatcher has something called an airwave set, which if you can zoom in on that, you can see that there's a CCTV monitor for them, and it tells you what units are available. You can see there's a tetra on the table for the operator, for the dispatcher, sorry, to use and speak to units. The same for this desk as well. So there are 3 dispatch desks. Each monitor different talk groups if needed. If they're running events, etc., then you can have a dispatcher on that event monitoring and assisting. And each monitor is customized, so there are different alternatives, I should say, for the monitors. So some of them, for example, like this one has the West Hampstead station in the background. This one's been turned off, and then this one's been decommissioned for other reasons. So this is the call taker pod, as you can see on the banner. This one here is also the call taker pod. Once again, rinse and repeat. And then these ones are different. These are the telephone desktop investigation unit. So they will investigate stuff from the name. Moving on, this is the MO12, or also known as the intelligence pod. So they will conduct rapid intel checks if needs be. Then over here we have the Metro Alpha pod. So it's the SFC. I believe this one over on our left will be Metro Alpha. MXA TFC. This one will be the support operator for the pod. And then this one is the, once again, support operator. These 2 pods over here are MP. So that's the control room. I do want to show it off at night time. So let me just change the time. There you go. As you can see, the monitors light up. You've got the nice blue outline for the Metropolitan Police sign. Looking quite nice. But floor 3. This floor is just generic support. So this is the IT desk over here. Once again, not much detail. You can see this is my desk, playing Minecraft. Then you can see this is the Deputy Commissioner's desk playing, I think it was Hogwarts at the time. So there's some slight details being left in the interior for what's been going on during the time frame of development. So whenever Hogwarts came out, that's when that was put in. Moving on, well, we'll cover this now. We have a little rest area, and then we have a welfare area. The welfare area is literally for the officers to come out, have a breather, have a smoke if needs be. Completely up to them. It's a nice little chill area for them to come up and eat their deep pan pizza if needs be. Once again, we have the toilet facilities, and then here we have property. The property is where everything that you seize will go. So, for example, these are cannabis plants which have been seized. They do need to be put in the skip, but the officers haven't done that. And then each shelf has their own number, so C004, then this one's A005, D024, D004. And all the way back here we have other storage for knives and stuff. Very secure area which needs a lot of cameras. As you can see, there's a lot of cameras that go into place. We need to know who's coming in and who's coming out. This next room is the LDSS room, where all officers want to come up and grab stuff from here. This way you get your, for example, your police utility belts with attachments, where you can get your police 23 ASPs, your police helmets in a certain range. You know, there's a lot of stuff up here which officers will be like, I want that. Unfortunately, it's not protected, so things might go missing. And that concludes this floor. The next floor, being floor 4, is the SMT floor. So in the last floor, we do have storage cupboard, which houses nothing in there at the moment. We do have toilet facilities, and then we do have this senior leadership team door, which is controlled access and is quite thick. Each room has been, depending on whose room it is and ideas, etc., has been personalised to their liking. So, for example, the superintendent of Met Operations, they wanted this, so they wanted massive McDonald's wrappers everywhere, and they absolutely love Sufish. So he's on the wall for him. This is the operations room, which is locked off at the moment. The superintendent of ERPT. Nothing's come through for them, so plain office for them. Very professional. The next one is the chief inspector of Met Operations. The only thing they asked for was a picture of their dog and a McDonald's cup. The conference room is quite basic once again. They come in and sit down for the conferences. Next room is the chief inspector of ERPT. And all he wanted was a picture of his cat on the table. Command meeting room is the next one, which once again looks like the conference room. Table with chairs and some refreshments over there when applicable. And before the gold rooms, we do have the last room, which is everyone's favourite room, the Director of Professional Standards. And yeah, it's not much in here, apart from the dartboard, which is who they're trying to get on for anything. That's about it. Once again, the lift is on our left if we need it. And now it's the gold waiting area. So staff officer, not a staff officer, but the police staff member will sit behind you, be on an appointment, then it'll be the gold member will be made aware, and you can go straight through to the gold rooms. Commissioner's room is first. His room is bigger. He's a commissioner. And once again, quite a basic room, quite a generic room as well. The next room is the deputy commissioner, which once again quite bigger for him. I think he's got a robot bender on his thing, and then he's got one of his favorite avatars. Likes to have that one. I won't say for YouTube's person for the wearing capability, but no. This one is now the assistant commissioner's office. So again, nothing to it. Didn't really ask for much, just the basic office for him. And the last office is the gold staff officers. And once again, didn't really want anything, so nothing really got brought in. The next office across, which is blank, is waiting for decorating. But this is available for deputy assistant commissioners or anything like that. The next part of this tour will include the car park now. So this is the front gate. This is the main entrance in and out for the officers. As you can see, we do want to enforce to members of the public. This is no access. This is no public access. You know, police vehicles only, authorised personnel only. You know, no members of the public are authorised. And there's also reinforcement to officers. You must ensure this gate is closed before you leave this vicinity, whether if you're coming out this way or going out that way. Because if I'm a member of the public and you drive off after this opens, I can walk in, and that's a security threat. And this is a separate way in, if needs be. But this gate here, it is animated, so you just press up arrow and it will just open. So this is an animation. It's not a script forcing it to certain ways. It's been animated within Blender, so it's pretty good and quite stable. And now each bay, as you can see on the floor, will say IRV or area car. These are for the officers' information, so they know where they can and cannot park. And these bays back here are for bikes. Obviously, officers can't really park them, so they get left the way they are. On the floor back here, you can see custody is to our right, and the car park, which is the main car park, and van dock to our right. And SLT car park is dead ahead. On our left here, we've got a massive box junction, and the reason for this, quite simple. We're doing a search garage here. So you'll walk in, the garage will be here, car will be here, you'll be able to go underneath the car, be able to search it. It's essentially a mechanics workshop, but it's where they literally remove every part of the car, find stuff if needs to be, or if it's for evidential stuff, then potentially just they'll do the evidence gathering in there. Over here we got 2 vehicle parking bays. These are unlisted for who could park here, so if essentially visitors can park here, but ideally it should be the mechanics. Moving on, we got the carriers where they park. All the way up until the SLT car park. And then back here we got the SLT cars. On the floor it does say what whose bay it is. So for example, that's the commissioners, deputy commissioners, assistant commissioners, GCO, then you got the, I think that's the duty officer, duty sergeant, chief inspectors, and superintendents. And then, obviously, red lines mean no stopping at any time. We've got a box junction, so no officers, hopefully, no officers block the junction. And we've got bays for the area cars on our left. There are 4 in total. We've got 2 bays on our right for IRVs. We've got several bays for our unmarked vehicles. And we've got bays for our marked vans. Then all the way down the bottom, from this point onwards, are IRV bays. I've already shown it off, but this is from the other perspective. This is the van dock. So there's a box junction here, so you don't block it. And the premise is this gate will be closed. You'd have to get out, scan your warrant card here, open the door up, and then you would drive in. Once you've driven in, the gate should close, and then you should be able to get your prisoner out. The reason for this is it's a confined space, so prisoners can't run out and run free. Back here is an approved smoking area, designated by the sign up here, where officers can sit down, have a smoke out of the way, with an ashtray. That concludes our tour. I hope you enjoyed it. We do intend to do more of these development reviews and walkthroughs, these longer walkthroughs of our assets. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time.